Hey, what's going on, everybody? And I know this is a Wednesday, and thank you, everybody that has shown up because obviously this is not our scheduled day. So I do appreciate that you all making a special appointment to come join us tonight. And I have little Zoe here with me, and she is extra attentive today because Anita took her to the dog park. So she did a lot of running around. So she has built up some type of appetite. So, yeah, I'm trying to hold her off. I got the bowl of treats for her. Most of you know what I do with those besides feeding them to her. You all help me with that. I do want to say hi to a bunch of you that have jumped on already. Bruce was the first in from Ocean to Ocean Travel. Normally, he follows me on Tuesday nights, but obviously, this is Wednesday. In all honesty, the reason I missed yesterday was I had a fantasy football draft, and it was not the one that I hosted. Obviously, it was one that somebody else hosted. So um, I had to do my fantasy football draft, right? I mean, the season's about to start. So, yeah, that's what we did yesterday. And we kept busy all night with that. And I just wouldn't have been able to do the show. So that's why I missed yesterday. So I hope you can forgive me. I'm sure some of you fantasy players out there understand what I'm talking about and can forgive me for that. All right. And then we had Jimbo coming in next. And good to see you again, Jimbo. The shirts were home when we got back from our cruise. We love them. Awesome, Jimbo. Yeah, I'm glad you had I hope it was a fabulous cruise, and I'm glad the shirts got there safely and that you love them. That's awesome. If anybody else wants shirts, people always say, how can I get shirts or whatever? You can message me, Brad Dowling, on Facebook. I have a picture of Anita and I, with the Cabo in the back or something like that. But you'll see this bald head and you'll know it's me. But just message me and you can order some shirts. Most of them are 25, 2X and 3X, a couple bucks more because it costs more to ship. So, yeah, that's why. So, Shane, what's going on? Good to see you here again. We got Seg 183. Great to see you here again, Seg. Let's see. Let's scroll on down. We got Ken. Ken is here. We have Sean here, Sean Abel. And thank you again for that, Sean. Sean says to smash the like button. Let me put that on the screen to help everybody remember. I do appreciate that, Sean. And yes, if you could hit that like button, it will help us out and hopefully get this spread out. I do have something I didn't even put in the description. I have an idea for a video, and I'm going to run it past everybody. And it'll be some insight especially for any new cruisers out here. Jay, I got a shirt coming for you, by the way. I see Jay has checked in. Justin is here. What's going on, Justin? Tim is back again. Good to see you, Tim. And Christy is here. Hi, everyone. Leaving for Florida tomorrow. Celebration on Saturday. That is the next ship I'm going on. So I think, Christy, is that the first cruise back for Lee, or is he the week after? I'm curious about that. I know he's coming back soon. He had a wonderful vacation, got engaged, all that good stuff with Geraldine. We talked a lot about that. Will is here. Good to see you again, Will. Trish is here. 9 days till her cruise. And hope Lee doesn't ruin it. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but Jay, I'm doing great. Hope you're doing well. I hope Sherry's doing well. I know, she's been there. And speaking of Sherry, look at that. She just pops on with a huge super chat here, and what that's going to do. And that's a great segue. So, Sherry, look at this. This is a big piece of chicken jerky, which you see Zoe is very, very excited about. And this is because of Sherry. So we've been working on this. So how about a high five for Sherry? Another high five and another high five. There you go. And then I get a treat too. And let's get that going. And we opened the bottle of Smoke Wagon last week. So anybody that does a $15 super chat, it gets me a shot and it gets Zoe a nice treat, which she is enjoying right now on the floor. So thanks so much for that, Sherry and Jay. And let's get this shot, and cheers to everybody. I do appreciate it once again. And once I drink a little bit more of my, but thank you. Thank you again, Sherry, Jay, appreciate it. All right. Let's get this show going. Okay. So then we have Rick checking in. I said hi to Shane already, and Cheryl. Cheryl is here, Tim's wife. Tim, we have Tim and Cheryl here, and she's saying hi to Coach and Zoe. And by the way, let's get back to the super chats real quick because Sherry and I have those shirts plural. I'm going to send you two, Sherry. I know you had asked me about one, but I'm going to send two just so you have a choice of colors there. But you are number 33 through 82. So we only need 18 more in super chats, and we'll do another drawing for shirts. Anybody new to the program, what we do, we have Carnival Cruise Addicts there 1 through 20. We have Rick, who's here again today. He at numbers 21 and 22. Tim G is 23 through 32. And Sherry just popped on with 33 to 82. So if we get 18 more in super chats, we'll do a shirt drawing. And if by some chance we get enough for two, but it always carries over. I mean, Sherry was the first super chat today, but we had 4 people carrying over from last week. So it will always go on like that. All right. So we have Shannon here. Let me make sure I didn't miss anybody. Shannon, hello. Going on a family cruise in November. That's awesome. I'll be on one in November. That's my next cruise as well. And speaking of Carnival Cruise Addicts, there they are. So they have a chance to win that shirt today. And look at that. We got Trisha down here, Journeys with June and Brady. And we have Moonlight Adventures, Josh and Chastity. And for those of you who didn't hear, I was on the podcast. Okay, wow. We are going to do our drawing right now because first we had Trisha. So Trisha, this beef stick is, and I think Zoe is finished. So come on. So this is from Trisha. So high five for Trisha. You really want to, she's very excited about this beef stick. Said, good girl. All right. That one's from Trisha. And then right after we have Sherry. So Sherry, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another chicken jerky when she finishes that. So she's going to be up to 3 treats. And then I have another shot coming my way. And then we'll get rolling here. So it's great to see everybody going on cruises. And that was one of my questions this week on the Coach Cruise Facebook page is, is anybody going to be going on some cruises pre-Thanksgiving? That's several people going in October, a lot of people in November. So yeah, it's great to see everybody. And Embarkation Nation is here. And Sherry, thanks once again. Oh, and we got to do our drawing. So look, we have Trisha, who is going to be 83 through 92. Okay, and then Sherry again, you're going to be 93 through 100. But then also 13 more, 1 through 13. So Sherry, you're going to be also 1 through 13 for the next shirt drawing. Okay, because I know Carnival Cruise Addicts is here. We have Rick here. We have Tim here. We have Sherry. We have everybody. Everybody that's in the drawing is here. So Carnival Cruise Addicts has numbers 1 through 20. Rick has 21, 22. Tim has 23 through 32. And sit. And this is for Sherry again. She got you another one. There you go. All right. Tim is 23 through 32. Sherry, 33 through 82. Trisha, 83 through 92. And then Sherry again, 93 through 100. So again, you see my phone there. It doesn't have a number. The number will pop up at the top here. I asked Siri for a random number 1 through 100. And then she pops out a number. And if your number falls on it, then you win the shirt. Siri, give me a random number 1 through 100.
It's 89.
The number is 89. So 89, look at that. Trisha had a 10% chance mathematically, but she has a 100% shirt winner. All right. So congrats on that, Trisha. And you can message me. I don't think that's your first win. I think you've won before. So you know how to get a hold of me. So congratulations, Trisha. And Sherry's already started us off on the next shirt. Uh, she's 1 through 13. So we're only 87 away from the next shirt giveaway. And we have a couple new people that jumped on. Michael Garcia going on the Carnival Magic at the end of October. Awesome. That was my most recent cruise in August. And oh, and thank you, Journeys with What a Precious Pup. Yeah, she's pretty great. We're really digging her. Everybody's saying congratulations to Trisha, and yeah, Sean, it has it lately. It's been picking the high numbers. All right, cool. So here's what I have today. I want to jump right into this. Some of you, and just say yes or no, if you've heard this saying before, or if you know what this saying is from. If you know what it's from, then you can put that in the comments too. But look at that, Carnival Cruise Addicts jumps in there. And look at that, Zoe. Zoe was just pawing me from down here. Jump up. Okay, we're running out of these chicken jerkies, but this is a nice big fat one right here. It's thin, but it's chewy. So look, Carnival Cruise Addicts. You gotta give them a big high five. So another big high five. Ooh, you went to the other hand. I like the technique there. All right. And I got my shot here ready. So thank you very much, Carnival Cruise Addicts. And I'm a Carnival Cruise addict myself. What do you know? I think a lot of us are here. And I can't wait to go on the next one. Let's see. Okay, so the phrase that I'm going to talk about, or title, and you tell me if you've heard this before, yes or no, in the comments, and if so, what is it from? But the phrase 7 habits of highly effective people. How many have heard of that term? 7 habits of highly effective people. If you've heard of that title or phrase, or heard that in conversation, put yes in the comments. And if you've never heard that before, then put no. It's from a while back, so I can understand certainly several people not hearing about it. All right, so we got a couple people started off. Brett's heard it. Seg says no. Shannon, yes. Jimbo, no. Shannon, yes. So we got several no's in here. Okay, so and we got it's pretty split. I would say it's about 50-50 there. I'm blessed Nettie is here. Good to see you here. And so 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is a motivational book by Stephen Covey, to get the most out of yourself, be a highly productive person, and it's like self-development, basically, a book. So I got the idea. I'm going to do a video this week on 7 habits of highly effective cruisers. 7 habits of highly effective cruisers, rather than 7 habits of highly effective people. Cruisers are people, we know, but that's what I'm going to title it. All right. So I have what I think is 7 habits, or 7 things highly effective cruisers can do to maximize their cruise experience. And many of you are veteran cruisers. We have some newer cruisers that are here, but let me run through them. These aren't necessarily ranked, from least important to most important, but kind of. So at number 7, I put the entertainment schedule, what you can't miss on the ships. No matter what cruise line you're going on, most of them offer entertainment, and some of it is very, very good entertainment, whether it's playlist productions, whether it's stand-up comedy, whether it's live music or whatever. So to maximize your cruise experience, I think what people who do that is either right when they get on board, or if it's the case of, say, playlist productions, they can research ahead of time what shows are playing on a particular ship and say, oh, okay, we got to go see this show. Or, for example, I think Christy said she's going on the Carnival Celebration. Well, I know one of the shows on there, for example, is the Magnificent Circus, which I think she's probably already seen that. But if I hadn't seen that before, I would make a point. We got to go see the Magnificent Circus at some point. They have Family Feud. They have a number of different games and shows. And depending upon what things you like, you want to make sure that you build a schedule in which you can maximize and go to all those fun events and things, whether it's deck parties, deck parties that you don't want to miss. So you do the theme. They have the Rock and Glow party, for example, on a lot of Carnival ships. And some people like to really dress up and hit the theme. They have the white nights, things like that. So you want to make sure. I was on a cruise recently with a family, and one of the sisters forgot to bring something white. So the whole family had white, and she didn't have anything white. And you could tell she kind of felt a little disappointed. And she's like, well, how come nobody told me or whatever? So yeah, I think that's something you want to do is you want to research so you can maximize your cruise experience on the ship with all the fun that is to offer. And a lot of that stuff you can research. And look at this here. We have Mr. Rick, and he does a $5. By the way, Cruise Addicts, you are number 14 through 33. And you see Zoe is very interested in what's going on here. Yeah, I know. You want some more. She's all right. She's distracted me just slightly. Okay, and then we had Rick. Okay, so we have Rick here. And Rick, you are 34 through 38, my friend, and thank you for that. Chris Wong announced on his video podcast he's going to be a pit boss. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. All right, sounds good. And speaking of podcasts, I think I mentioned this briefly, but Moonlight Adventures, along with the Naughty Cruiser, I did a podcast with them last week. It was shared on my Facebook page, and that was a lot of fun. Cruise Life TV is also here, and glad to see you. And Controversial Cruising, they just came back from Alaska, or maybe they're still in Alaska. I'm not sure, but good to see you here at Controversial Cruising. And okay, so let's go on to number 6. 6 things that I think highly effective cruisers do, when they cruise. So food. All right. Now I'm going to use Christy Curry again because she's going on the Celebration. There is a ton of food options on the Carnival Celebration. I was just on it. Sherry and Jay and myself, and and a couple friends of mine, we were all on the Celebration. There are so many food choices. I mean, specialty restaurants, for example, you have the Steakhouse, you have the Seafood Grill, Rudy's Seafood Grill, you have Bonsai Teppanyaki, you have Bonsai Sushi, you have the Seafood Shack. There's a number of specialty restaurants that you can go to, the Chef's Table, for example. But then there's a lot of free options. Cucina del Capitano, Guy's Barbecue. You have, the deli. You have the main dining room. You have so many food choices. So you want to make a plan on hey, I heard, Shack's Big Chicken is just awesome. We got to make sure we go to Shack's at least twice. Guy's Burger, we got to make sure we hit that. The taco place, Blue Iguana Cantina, we got to make sure we hit that. You want to make sure you hit and taste some of the foods you've heard so much about or that are favorites to you. And you can plan that out. You can make sure that you do that. And, if it's a specialty dining or whatever, you can make a plan to do that specialty dining. Okay, so let's go on to number 5. Now, this one I think is important, especially for newer cruisers, because as we've learned the ropes through cruising, some of us veteran cruisers, we've probably all made this mistake, or maybe you've been one of the fortunate ones to do your research ahead of time so you didn't make this mistake. But that is room type and location. I remember one time we booked a cabin on a higher floor, and what do you know? It was right below the Lido deck. So we were always hearing lounge chairs scratching and going on the, on the deck above us. We could hear some of the deck parties and things like that. So it was always noisy, and we made, a bad choice, obviously, as newer cruisers. Some people don't like to be close to the elevators because people are sometimes loud getting on and off those elevators. So you want to make sure, and I've heard horror stories about people being below the fitness center and people dropping weights and things like that, which is make a big bang noise, even though they have the padded floors and the weight rooms and stuff like that. So, and then not only that, for example, I know Anita doesn't like interiors because she likes to see some light. And interior doesn't bother me really. I'm just happy in any room. But you want to make sure you're in a room that is comfortable for you in a location. Some people, there's certain parts of the ship that they love to go to, so they want to be close to that particular location. Some people, it might be the spa. The spa and the fitness center are usually in the same location. Other people want to be, on the Lido deck itself, to where they can just walk, down the hallway, and they're in the middle of all the action. So, you want to do your homework ahead of time and determine a good place on the ship for you, the room type, the room location, somewhere where you are going to really, really maximize and enjoy your cruise. Now, before I move on to the next one, if I get to the end of this list, please, because this is not finalized, I've not created the video yet. It's just a video that I am going to create. So if there's some things that I left out, like, oh, this is, a highly effective thing that cruisers do, that is better than these 7, by all means, I will not be offended. As a matter of fact, I might just bump off 1 or 2 of my choices here and go with yours if I feel it's better. Okay, so number 4, deals, onboard credit. By deals, what I mean is, getting 10% off, getting 15% off, getting 20% off in some cases. Shore excursions. For example, if you book a shore excursion with Carnival, they have 110% price match guarantee. Some people only like to book through Carnival. Let's say you're one of these people. That doesn't mean you can't get in on the savings. If you book with Carnival, for example, just keep it easy math here, a cruise excursion that costs $100, right? And you book it. You let's say you have a family of 4, it costs you $400 for that particular excursion. Now you go to another outside vendor, online, and you see, oh wow, we could have got almost this identical excursion for half the price. I'm going to cancel the Carnival excursion. Well, Carnival doesn't want you to do that. That's where their 110% price match guarantee comes in. So what you do is you send them the URL, you fill out this shore excursion guarantee form that you can obtain online, and they will they will give you an onboard credit. They will match the price and then give you 10% above it. So they will give you basically $110. So that's a $60 price difference per ticket in the example I just gave. So that would be $240 onboard credit for you. One of the things I've recommended on some of my videos is AARP gift cards. Now, you don't have to be 50 or older to register with AARP. For 10 or 12 bucks a year, you can get a membership. And if you buy one $500 Carnival gift card, for example, it'll cost you $450. That's $50 savings. Let's say your cruise costs, total $3,000, and you buy $3,000 worth of Carnival gift cards. That's $300 in savings. And you can do that, and you can pay off your cruise, and you can use those gift cards for basically anything that Carnival does. And Royal offers those gift cards through AARP. And I know some people have mentioned Allstate, and there's some other avenues down there too where you can save money. So you want to find your deals. One other thing I'll mention about that number 4, what a lot of people do is they will check the cost of their cruise. So let's say their cruise for the room was $1,500, but then they keep monitoring every couple weeks. They go in and check and see what the cost of that room would cost them now. Sometimes the price goes down. So let's say that $1,500 room you booked has dropped to $1,300, and you could get the same room type for $1,300. You call Carnival up and say, "Hey, you know, the cost of this room that I got dropped by $200." They'll give you $200 on onboard credit to make up the difference. So it's a wonderful thing. So this is what some of the things that highly effective cruisers can do to save a lot of money and maximize their cruise and have some extra money and things like that. Before I can continue going on, let me read through some of the comments because I've just been yapping away here. Okay. So Rick says we're older cruisers. I'm an older cruiser. Okay, sorry to hear that. Controversial cruising got a little sick on their cruise. Rick says they prefer being closer to the elevators. And again, it's wherever you are comfortable. Oh, thank you for that. Carnival Cruise Addicts. Well, the good thing about giving me another shot, and I'm going to take a drink of my regular drink here, is it also gives Zoe another treat. Zoe, come here. Whoa, she almost fell off the chair. You're okay. She's safely on the chair. Let's see. Oh, we got somebody new here. Tina says middle closer to the elevator. Z, we got Z here. Good to see Z. Trisha, middle and closest to elevators. Okay. Thank you, Cruise Life TV. They say great tip. Rick says deals as a Diamond Plus in the Crown and Anchor. We get 5 free drinks a day. Yeah, then that is an exceptional perk. Blessed Nettie says I use AARP every time! Exclamation point. Tim says Deck 5 Casino Bar. That's good bingo. 100% using the AARP gift cards to pay for my cruise in February on the Spirit. Love to hear it. Love to see people saving money. Let's see. Trisha, I always get AARP gift cards. Savings for sure. So Shannon, okay. So see, this is why you watch shows like this. So I'm glad, it's one of those things where you help at least one person, and then anybody watching this on replay. So Shannon, you can go right to AARP. They have an app, but you can go online and you can sign up with AARP, and they usually give you some little gift too. The gift varies depending upon the season. But I think recently they had a promotion where you could sign up for $10-12. They give you points for I don't even know what. I have thousands of points. How I earn them, I don't even know. Basically, if you blink each day, you get 1,000 points. So what you can use these points for then is to buy gift cards. But I've never had to do literally anything to earn points, and I've always had way more points than I needed to give me access to get these gift cards. Once you're a member, you have access basically. And it takes a little navigating. I actually did a video. If you go into my video library, because some people are having trouble like finding the cards once they got into the website. And so I did a little video how to find it within my app. So you're by all means, but you can go in there. Once you become a member, they'll give you an option of $100 gift cards or $500 gift cards. Royal Caribbean offers them too. I've seen Norwegian, I think, on there, but Royal and Carnival are almost always on there offering these gift cards for 10% off, which is a hefty savings. Like I said, I would say the average cruise is going to cost most people at least $2,000. So if you buy $400 or $500 gift cards, you're saved $200. With $200, that's some specialty dining. That's some fun in the casino. You can do a lot with $200. You can pay your gratuities, right? There's a lot of things you can do with that $200 savings. So, so just go on to AARP. Once you get signed up, you will be able to find those gift cards. And if you can't, like I said, go into my video library. If you still can't, message me directly, and I will help navigate you to them. Well, let's see. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we're caught up. So number 3 of things that highly effective cruisers do is they research their ports of call. Okay. Now, many veteran cruisers have been to these same ports of calls for a long time. So some veteran cruisers may already know what they're doing. Like there are many ports that I go to. Grand Turk is a great example. I know what I'm going to do in Grand Turk. I'm going to go to the beach. And the reason I mentioned Grand Turk is because, most ships, if you go on a 6 day or 7 day or 8 day cruise, you're going to have at least three ports, sometimes even four. All right. Now, some of you may be like, well, we want to do a couple excursions, but, we want to hit the beach a couple days too. Well, you need to determine which ports are going to have the best beach experience, right? Because not all beaches are created equal. For example, if you go to Amber Cove, I wouldn't suggest, I would suggest going to the Dama Agua, 27 waterfalls excursion if you've never done that, if you're adventurous and your health, physically allows you to do something like that. That's a wonderful excursion. But the ocean is not that crystal clear blue water that everybody covets and sees on calendars and things like that. But Grand Turk has water like that. So if you're going to do a beach day, you say, okay, well, I've seen the water in Grand Turk and the water is just absolutely beautiful. We're doing a beach day there. We're not going to do an excursion there because, that's where the best water is. So if we're going to be on the beach, let's make sure it's a crystal clear, beautiful beach. Now, where you run into trouble is if there is an excursion and a beautiful beach. So like St. Martin, for example, some of you might be zip line fans, and they have this amazing zip line called the Flying Dutchman. That's like the biggest zip line in the world. I mean, you can do both. You could do for the Flying Dutchman and then still hopefully have some time to hit the beach or whatever. But that would be, advice is to plan out your ports. When we first started cruising, our first cruise ever was to Alaska, and we only booked one excursion. It was whale watching, and the whales, we went this year and the whales were awesome. But that first excursion, it was guaranteed whale sighting. We saw a tail of a whale from, I don't know, 500 yards away. So technically we saw a whale, but it wasn't really worth it. So what I'm trying to say is do your research, figure out what the best excursions are in those ports and what you'll enjoy the most. So most of these ports, you might be there only 8 hours, 10 hours. And you want to maximize all that time. You don't want to get to a particular port, not know what you're doing, and just walk around. And maybe you went through a couple souvenir shops and then you're back on the ship. And then you find out later, oh, we could have done this excursion. Oh, we could have gone to this beach. So you want to do your research ahead of time and make sure you maximize those port days of those ports that you're going to. Okay. Now, number 2. This one is a ship tour. And somebody watched one of my ship tours recently, and I responded to the comment, thanks, I think, they said it was very informative. This helps a lot, but kind of boring. And I was like, well, yeah, thanks, I think. And I thought about it. I was like, yeah, I guess I kind of understand what they mean. It's not like there's a lot of action going on during a ship tour, right? You're just kind of walking around showing people stuff. So I got it, and they were, it was just funny to me. I don't know why it's so funny, but the ship tours are great because where everything is on the ship. So if you're going on a ship you've never gone on before, you want to make sure, some of these ships we know, especially if you're a newer cruiser, are so big that you can be on there the whole week and not even hit certain decks, unless you make a point to go up there. For example, the XL class of, cruise ships with Carnival, they have a pool now in the Serenity deck. Well, some people may not have known that. Not only is it a pool, but it's a pool for only people ages 21 and over. So if you're trying to escape the kids, and we love the kiddos, but sometimes we don't want a kid snorkeling and kicking in front of us while we're trying to have a drink in the pool, right? You can go up to the adult section, and hang out in the Serenity Pool. So if you didn't do a ship tour, that deck is way, way up. And I believe, is it at the back or the front? I forget. It is, I think, at the back. I think it's at the back. I don't know. But anyway, that's something you could miss if you didn't do a ship tour. So you definitely want to check that out. And look at this. We have Carnival Cruise Addicts added again. Awesome. Let me write that down because, let's see here. That is going to be 39 through 48. 39 through 48. And you know what? Somebody else did a $10 super chat, I think. That's a super sticker, but we're going to go ahead and take care of Zoe here on this one. We'll give her a beef stick. You want a beef stick? Come on. But thank you. Thank you for that. Up. A high five for Cruise Addicts, Carnival Cruise Addicts. There you go. Beef stick for you, courtesy of the Carnival Cruise Addicts. So thank you for that. And again, we are up to 39 through 48. So yeah, we are only 52 away. It's possible. We still got 24 minutes to go. It's possible we could be giving away another shirt today. Rick just made a really good comment to go along with Carnival Cruise Addicts. It is actually 15 for the shot, but Sherry has went well over that 15 limit. So we will combine that with yours there, and I will do a shot here, Cruise Addicts. Because actually, I think you all did. Wait a minute. Yeah, you did a 14 and a 10, so that would be two 15s. So yeah, so that would qualify anyway. So Cruise Addicts, Sherry, we had Trisha. Make sure Rick. Who else did we have? Michael. Oh, Michael, I totally missed. Oh, I am so sorry. I hope you are still here, Michael. I didn't even see it. Yoli's here. I missed a bunch of people. I was rambling, running my mouth there. So Michael also, but Cruise Addicts, here you go. And Michael, we got to get you a treat for Zoe. So Zoe, here, come here. You get one more. One more. This one's for Michael. Sit. So thank you, Michael. And I apologize. I'm so glad I scrolled back up and caught that because Yoli, good to see you here. And I missed Yoli checking in also. So yeah. Wow. I mean, I feel really bad. I mean, I know sometimes I'll miss questions and things like that, but I missed a super chat there, or almost missed it. I'm glad I caught it. Let's see here. Michael Klaus says Cloud9 balcony is amazing. And Tina, I miss Tina. Hello, Tina. I feel like I've missed a lot of people now all of a sudden. So I'm going. Okay. Michael, what list do you want to be added to? Or are you all talking about something? Michael, if you could be a little more specific there, how do I get added to the list? Michael, you are on the list as far as the super chats go. Let me do that right now. So, and you know what? We're going to give you a bonus too, just because I missed. So you are going to be 49 through 60. You're going to be 49 through 60 since so you're on the list for the t-shirt. Hopefully you win it, but I mean, if you don't win it and you want to buy one, you certainly can do that. So Michael, yes, I have you for numbers 49 through 60 here. So that means we only need 40 more in super chats before the end of this show. And if by chance we don't get that 40 by the end of the show, then it carries over to next week, which will be on our normal Tuesday scheduled show. And again, thank you for that, Michael. And Zoe thanks you as well. So All right. We were on the ports of call, um, and then the ship tour. Okay. So, so yeah, the ship tours, again, they can be incredibly helpful. And for me, and I still do this, even for ships that I've already been on. I will watch a ship tour. Why? Because, well, like Carnival cruise addicts, I'm a cruise addict, right? And it just helps me get excited for going on that cruise, like to see the ship that I'll actually be on. And in some cases, even though I've been on it before, I'll watch a ship tour and I'll be like, oh, I forgot that was on there. Or, oh, yeah, I didn't go to this place to eat last time. I got to make a point. We got to make a point to go eat there or something like that. So yeah, so I take advantage of those ship tours. Now, this is my number one, because you can get so much advice and so much good information in one place about your particular ship, about your particular itinerary, and that is to join a Facebook cruise group page. So there is almost no cruise out there, unless it's like 2 years from now. There's almost no cruise out there where somebody hasn't started a cruise page for your particular cruise. So most of you, I know there's a few people that aren't on Facebook, but for those of you that are, if you go onto Facebook, whatever your next cruise is, if you have never been on a Facebook cruise group page, and you go onto the particular, Facebook, and just type in the name of your ship and the date of your cruise, the exact date, the date of embarkation. And I can almost guarantee you there will be at least one cruise page dedicated to your cruise. And sometimes two, sometimes even three, you'll find of people going on, that particular cruise. Not only that, but you get to join things like a coach cruise pub crawl, right? So, when I go on a cruise, I always host a bar crawl or a pub crawl. And, people have a ton of fun on these bar crawls. Now, Carnival doesn't host those by themselves, but when you join these Facebook groups, you can sign up for events. Like some people are really enjoy the slot machines, and they'll go do a slot pull where everybody throws in, say, $20, and you all get a couple spins or whatever. And the highest person wins the biggest prize, or you can elect to split it as a group, or I don't know exactly. I'm not really big into the slot pull thing, but there's gift exchanges, there's meetups for games, and I mean they do all kinds of different events. I know New Year's Eve, I was on with Lito Tito, and he did a Roaring Twenties themed, where I mean I swear it seemed like half the ship was dressed up in Roaring Twenties theme for the New Year's Eve celebration. And that was all because it was started on that Facebook group page. And so everybody, rather than wearing a traditional just whatever New Year's Eve dress, they dressed up in a New Year's Eve Roaring Twenties dress or suit, for the guys. And it was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun to dress up in that particular theme. So that would be my number one Facebook thing. Okay. Journeys with June and Brady going on a 15-day Venezia cruise at the end of the month. Oh, I want to hear about that, Journeys, because I'm going to do 16 days on the Venezia, 8 days back to back in June this summer. So I'll be excited to hear what you have to say about that. Trisha says she loves ship tours. I watch all of the cruise YouTube videos weekly. My husband says I'm obsessed. Trisha, it's okay. We're all obsessed. So it's fine. That's why you're here tonight, but it's okay. We're here with you. Let's see. Carnival Cruise Addicts. We join every Facebook cruise group for every cruise. Super fun and great to meet people. I agree. Sherry, I'll find us a slot machine and we will win for the slot pull. Awesome. Cruise Life TV, we did a cabin crawl with interesting to see all the different cabin types. Yep, that's another event that people organize and do. And Journeys is going to let me know about the Venezia. I appreciate that. Rick says, I get up to 1,000 cruisers on those groups. Yes, Rick is correct. I've been on a few cruise groups that, before the cruise has actually set sail, there's been over 1,000 people on the group. And, some of these cruise ships, only hold 2, 3, 4,000 people. So, you're getting to know 25% or more of a cruise, just on the Facebook there. So it's fun to kind of get to know some people ahead of time and organize some events and organize some meetups with some people that you have things in common with, and it can be a lot of fun. Now, my 7 habits of highly effective cruisers. Let me go through these again. And if there is one of these 7 and there's some particular highly effective thing that cruisers do that I have not mentioned. So my first one was Facebook group. That's the one we just talked about. Then the one before that was the ship tour. The one before that is knowing your ports of call, what to do, excursions, beach, things like that. The one before that was deals, saving money, AARP, things like that, how to save money on shore excursions. The one before that was your room type and location. What type of room do you want? Where do you want it to be located? Do you want a balcony? Do whatever? Let's see. So then before that, we had all the food and, identifying, the food areas and what type of food you want to try and enjoy while you're on the ship. Because let's be honest, cruising has a lot to do with food, right? So you want to make sure you can enjoy the food that you want to the most. And prior to that, we had the entertainment schedule and all the different things going on the ship. Some people are really into trivia. Some people love to listen to live bands. The violin trio is one of my favorite things. I mean, I don't listen to them for like hours or anything, but I always enjoy sitting down and listening to a few songs by the violin trio. And it's something I never do at home. And I think that's why I like to do it when I'm on a cruise. And yeah, so those are the 7. So let me go through and see if anybody has another highly effective thing that most cruisers do. All right. So Trisha says we're doing a Great Gatsby night on our upcoming cruise. Great. And you know what? And that Roaring 20s thing, we had a lot of fun with. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that pops up on our next New Year's Eve cruise, which is on the Celebration. Sherry says, let's get Sherry's comment up here. You can also book through Hilton Honor Rewards, and you can get great deals on Carnival cruises in addition to other cruise lines. So that's a great tip right there. And Rick says, great idea, Coach, about 7 habits of highly successful cruisers. Thank you, Rick. And I hope the video does well, but I hope to get that out within the week here. So I wanted to run that past everybody today. So you got kind of a preview of what it's going to be about. I'll try to jazz it up a little bit. Carnival Cruise Addicts, understanding the Cheers package. And yes, I did an entire video on that Cheers package. And that's a great recommendation because that was one of my more well-regarded videos. I've gotten hundreds and hundreds of subscribers just because of that one video, and people really getting a lot of good tips from it. We meet new people, and most of them we cruise with again. Yes, that's one of the best things about cruising is all the people you meet. Several people on the chat today I've met, like Sherry and Jay, for example. The last cruise, or second to last cruise I was on, we actually had, dinner together, and we got to meet, and they went on the bar crawl with me and everything. And yeah, and there's several other people. I know Tim and Cheryl, I've met them, Trisha. There's so many of you that I've actually met on the ship or on a cruise. And, we've hung out and had a good time together. And yeah, just cruising. Yeah. So yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Cruise Life TV, would you consider the cruise director a separate habit, or would that fall under? You know what? That is an excellent question. Wow. Yeah. I hadn't really thought of that. Let me put that up on the board there. So Cruise Life TV said, would you consider the cruise director a separate part of, or fall under just entertainment in general? I mean, I'm thinking of that even more now because prior to this cruise on the Magic, the last cruise directors I'd had were Lee Mason twice and Cookie, the two arguably greatest cruise directors, that Carnival some would say Carnival has ever had, right? I mean, Lee has won Cruise Director of the Year 2 times in a row. Cookie, I mean, I don't think anybody has more fans than Cookie does, and he's just a great individual and hilarious and awesome and everything. And then seeing somebody that's just kind of like bottom of the barrel, on the Carnival Magic recently, and just how they interacted, and they were fine, I guess they did their job, but I feel like that's what they did their job, whereas a Lee and a Cookie, they add so much more, and they go over the top and do things that aren't even called upon, based on their job, and it's just who they are as individuals, and that's why they're the best. So I mean, I guess to answer your question, for me, that would be a yes. That would be a yes. Like I would consider now the cruise directors, if it's a Lee Mason, if it's a Cookie, and actually there's another one, and it's going to be a would you rather. So I'm going to hold off on the one that you could probably guess. Anita is here. Actually, she's yeah, she just does not like to be on camera. So like if she's got a hair out of place or something like that, a lot of times she just doesn't want to be on TV. So she was out running around and doing errands and things like that. So we just had some dinner, and yeah. So she's here though. She's here. She's doing well. She's doing fine. We went off to a friend of mine's in Michigan, Coldwater, Michigan, and they have a lake up there, and a little lake house, little tiny lake house, a nice pontoon boat. We went out on the pontoon boat with them. It's 2 years in a row now we've done that. Had a lot of fun. Yeah, I think my hair looks good too. It take a lot of work to get it like this, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Uh, Cruise addicts. I don't know what that LOL all caps is about, but okay, appreciate the compliment all the same. How is the cruise director on the Carnival Breeze? Shannon, I was on the Carnival Breeze for New Year's Eve. Now they rotate these cruise directors, and if you Google Carnival cruise directors schedule, you will pop up. There will be like 3 different places that will show you that particular schedule, so you can find out who the cruise director on the Breeze is going to be for your particular cruise. Now, when I went on, it was a gentleman named Lawrence, who is an up and coming cruise director, in my opinion. I think he did a great job for somebody that's new, the cruise director. Now, in this Carnival Magic, I went on one, and I gave my reasons why I didn't think the person was great. I thought they were very, very average, maybe even slightly below average. But then again, to be fair to them, I just come off a cruise, like I said, with two of the best, without a doubt, in the business, and Lee Mason and Cookie. So yeah, that's fair. And Jimbo says, "Poor Flying Scotsman never gets any love." He gets some love. He gets some love, Jimbo. I just, the thing with the Flying Scotsman, I haven't cruised with them in so long, and I realized that, like, Mark Q, is somebody I've heard more about recently, but I can't comment directly on people that I haven't actually cruised with. So the thing is, I'm on the Celebration. My next 2 cruises, Thanksgiving and New Year's Eve. My friend Lee Mason. I always have a great time, and he always does a fabulous job, obviously. But yeah, I do need to get out and see some more cruise directors. But then I went on the Magic, and I was a little disappointed in the cruise director. I got to be honest. So I'm on the Venezia in June. I'm on the Magic again in March. And so we'll check out some more cruise directors and see what we think about that. Now, I did have a a couple would you rathers. We're getting toward the end of the show. And thank you for all of you that are still online. If you haven't already hit that like button, we asked at the beginning of the show, I think it was Sean, that said hit that like button. So if you could hit that like button now while we're finishing up here, I would appreciate it. So, would you rather? Kindle Fire, as you know, has been awarded the inaugural cruise director position for the Carnival Jubilee that will be coming out in Christmas out of Galveston, Texas. Now, the question is, would you rather have Kindle Fire or other? Or other. So if you want to just put, if it's not Kindle Fire that you think you'd have rather gotten the Jubilee, put other. If you don't want to put a name to to strike up debate or whatever, you could just put other, or you could put K Fire. So put K Fire for if you're glad that she won the Carnival celebration or got the cruise director of the Carnival celebration. And if you think other, you can put the name of the other if you feel comfortable doing that, or you can just put other. Okay, so Will says KF, Kindle Fire. Kindle is amazing. I am taking that as a vote for Kindle. Tim G says K Fire. Seg says K Fire. Trisha says Kindle. She was amazing on the Mardi Gras. Carnival Cruise Addict says Kindle Fire. Sherry says KF, Kindle Fire. Cruise Life TV, haven't done it yet, but we will be doing a 2-part show on KF. Oh, great. Very cool. And, I love Kindle Fire. I've spoken about her many times. I thought she was going to get the celebration, and that's before Lee and I met and became friends. And Lee obviously deserved the celebration. He had been around the block a few more times, but I think Kindle Fire definitely earned the Carnival Jubilee, and her being from Texas just makes it that much sweeter. So congratulations to her. And we didn't have a single other. So it's nice to see everybody, giving her some unanimous love. So I'm sure she would appreciate this if she were watching. Hey, Kendall, glad to see you got all this love going towards you. I doubt she's watching, but she watches on replay. She'll be very happy to see all the great comments from all of you. So thank you for that. Now, it is football season. Okay, so we got to say something about football because the NFL kicks off tomorrow. And I know there's at least one person in the comments that is a big fan of one particular team playing tomorrow. Not that I'm a fan of that team. In fact, more the opposite. But we have the Chiefs going up against the Lions tomorrow in the NFL's first game of the year. Now, give you some insider info if you haven't been following the news. Travis Kelce is unlikely to play. He hyperextended his knee. Chris Jones, their best defensive player for Kansas City, is still holding out. So their best offensive player, not called Patrick Mahomes, and their best defensive player, called Chris Jones, are both out. So that being said, who will win tomorrow in the first NFL game of the season? Will it be the Chiefs or will it be the Lions? The Lions are an up-and-coming team. They should have made the playoffs last year, and they are improving, and all the Detroit fans are super, super excited about them. So who will it be? Will it be a minor upset and the Lions beating the Chiefs, or will the Chiefs keep on doing their thing and be marching toward their next Super Bowl? All right. So we'll have some more questions about football here. I see all the everybody screaming out their favorite teams. Shannon says Chiefs all the way. Trisha says go Chiefs. Ben says Chiefs. Sherry says Chiefs. We got no Lions love. Nobody's going for the little engine that could. Not one person going for the little engine that could. Oh, we got Will G. All right. See, you know why Will G did that, right? Because he's a Raider fan. Go Raiders, Raider Nation. I appreciate that, Will. I wanted to see a couple people say Lions. Jay says, don't care, go Birds. All right. Okay, so now all of you fans of other teams, this is your opportunity here. Do you feel like your team is good enough, and if they are good enough, will they win the Super Bowl? So put your Super Bowl champion prediction in the comments now. And you know what we can do is when the Super Bowl happens, if you called it, you can go back and look at this and say, hey, look, on your show, the NFL eve of the 2023 season, I said this team was going to win the Super Bowl. And if you want to be real adventurous, say who they're going to beat in the Super Bowl and pick the two teams in the Super Bowl. So for you NFL football fans out there, let's see. Will G, man, Will, you got more confidence than I do. I don't think the Raiders are going to the Super Bowl, but I tell you what, I'd be thrilled if they just squeaked into the playoffs. But I love your optimism. Tim says the Steelers, and that would be another one I'd be pretty shocked with. Tim, I hadn't forgot about our little side bet when the Steelers and Raiders play. Sherry says Eagles all the way, and the Eagles got a very real team. They have a very real team. Jalen Hurts and company. I have Dallas Goedert on my fantasy team, by the way, and a couple other Eagles. So I've got some Eagles going for me in fantasy. Miss Lady is a Cowboys fan, and the Cowboys, they got talent. They definitely got some talent. They're like a dark horse team to have a chance to win. Shannon has taken the chalk. The Chiefs are the favorite to win the Super Bowl again, so there's a very good chance they could win. It's tough to do back-to-back years. Robert's another Cowboys fan. Carnival Cruise Addict says Dolphins. The Dolphins are another up-and-coming team. I mean, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Jalen Waddle. I mean, that's two great starts right there to an offense. Sean, Bucks fan here. But the Bucks, you all had your moment. You had Tom Brady in another Super Bowl, so congratulations. And hello, Miss Lady. Good to see you on here. And Ben is a Jets fan, and there's one of those up-and-coming teams that, might shock some people this year. Sherry says Denver Broncos won back-to-back, and yes, they did. That was quite a while ago. But yeah, they did, definitely, for sure. I think that was with Elway, right? Pretty sure Elway was the one that did that. Let's see. Rick says it's going to be a wild year. I think any 7 or 8 teams could go all the way, just not the Cowboys. Yuck. Okay, so there's an anti-Cubs fan there. I mean, an anti-Cowboys fan there in Rick. So you Cowboys fans up there, you and Rick are going to have some words for each other. I'm just kidding. But we have crossed over that 1 hour threshold for the show, and there's still 29 of you on the show watching. If you haven't already hit that like button, if you could hit it on the way out, that might help more people that haven't seen it watch it on replay. So I appreciate all of you. Thanks so much for the comments. Thanks so much for all of you that did the super chats. Yoli says, here we go, Steelers. I know her husband's got a big tattoo of the Steelers logo on his calf. So I've seen it in person. I can vouch that he actually does. So yeah, they're big Steeler fans and Oklahoma fans. And Shannon says, great show, Coach. So we will throw that up on the screen as our last comment of the day. And thank you. And thank you all. And again, thanks so much for the comments and watching and the super chats and all that good stuff. Take care, everybody, and appreciate you. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Carnival Cruise Addicts, and everybody. Thank you all. Take care.